What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite, and welcome to Rebuilding Everton. We are 20 years into the future, in the year 2040, May 30th specifically, just at the end of the season, and Everton have been relegated to the Championship. Now it is my job to get them back to the Premier League, and up top, taking the place of Southampton, actually, who have won the league this year, and winning the league with Everton from the Championship to the Premier League. It'll be a difficult journey, but I think we're a good enough team to dominate the championship. I mean, Everton should dominate the championship if they got relegated. Everton should not be relegated, by the way. The whole point of this save is I wanted to go ahead, X amount of years, find the first team that should not be relegated into the second division of their particular country and take them over, and it just happened to be Everton. So if we look at the league table the past few years, Southampton are a surprise champions this year, 89 points too, so they're very good, much more points than Tottenham had. Man City down in 6th, United down in 9th, Chelsea in 11th, Liverpool in 13th. So if we look at the league table over the previous seasons, let's advance to the current day. Last year, Arsenal won the league. They won the league like 4 straight years in the past 4 years. Everton were 13th. Arsenal again, we were 14th, 17th, so almost relegated in 2036-37. 14th before that. 11th did a little bit better in 2034, but before that they were 15th, 14th, 8th in 2031, so they were doing decent back then. 9th, 8th, 8th, so they're definitely top half of the league in the 2030s, early 2030s, late 2020s. 7th in 2026, 8th, 12th, 8th, 4th in 2022-2023. They had Champions League football, and now they're in the championship. Before that, they were 11th. And then the first season, they were at 9th. So this is definitely a top half of the Premier League team that's fallen to becoming a bottom half of the Premier League team, which has fallen to become a championship team. So if we look at the squad, obviously there's no real players in the squad left. They're all regens. Our best goalkeeper is this Leonidas Messalongas. He's pretty good. He's an average to slightly above average Premier League goalkeeper, I think. He's not, he can kind of be a sweeper keeper. He's got really good one-on-ones, so that helps. But he's good without being exceptional. He's still young, 24 years old, so that's still pretty young for a goalkeeper. Our best right back is this Veridiano, the Brazilian. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good defensively. He can also play in the midfield, but I think we're going to play him at right back. Doesn't have the best dribbling, but a good crossing, really good defensively, good passer, pretty solid physically, not crazy physically, but good strength for right back. So he'll definitely be our starting right back. Our backup right back is this Dussel, Croatian. He's not very good at all, but we also have Ross Jack Monroe, who's naturally a left back, but he's right-footed. So he's probably going to be my backup right back this season. In terms of center backs, we have 2. This might be one of the issues with the team. They have 2 center backs at the team, and one is on loan. That's an issue. The starting center back is Ramon, who's a good player. Yeah, he's a pretty good player. There's nothing wrong with this guy. He should easily get you mid-table at least in the Premier League with his quality. 6 foot, 13 jumping reach. Really good tackling, positioning, teamwork, and work rate are amazing too, so that's really useful. But their second best center back is Jacques Gamble, who played a lot of games for him, more games than Ramon did, and he is pretty average. Really good physically, 6'5", but not great mentally. Other than his tackling, his technicals aren't very good. He probably should not be a starting center back in the Premier League. Their starting left back actually is Michael Anderson, who's a solid player. He's probably not good enough for a Premier League squad. Not great physically. He's got good balance, but other than that, he's just average physically. Pretty average technically. Pretty good mentally. So he's all right, but that might be an area we need to improve on. Their backup left back is Elbayo Arias, who's a very average player. In terms of defensive midfield, they've got 3 pretty good defensive midfielders. Gary McFarlane, who's 34, So we might sell him or he might retire soon. So yeah, he's old. He's not a long-term player at this team, obviously. Then we have Sebastian Lesniak, who's 30. He's a pretty good player, really good physically, solid technicals. Not a great dribbler, but he's more of a defensive player. Pretty good mentally, so he might be a starter for me. Then Luan Ferreira, who's 29. He's he's very well balanced mentally, solid physically, and okay technically. He's not. He says he's best as ball winning midfielder, but with only 12 tackling, he's got the bravery for it. But only 12 tackling and 15 work rate and 14 stamina. He's more of probably a box to box midfielder for me. I'd probably play him as a box to box midfielder. I don't know if I'm going to be playing defensive midfielders in this save. Then their second best midfielder is Benjamin Zigrovic, who's a solid player. He's pretty balanced, but not spectacular mentally. Okay, but solid physically for a central midfielder and pretty good technically. I don't know if he's going to be a starter for me or not. Might be one of those defensive midfielders. And the main man, Joseph Diop. He's probably the best player at the club. He's really good. A really good playmaker. Really good passing and vision. He's way too good for a championship team, so he might ask to be sold. I don't know if he'll be happy playing in the championship. He's a top half of the Premier League player. You could probably win a Premier League with this guy in your team. So Diop, hopefully he can stay long term. He's only 24 years old. Where did they get him from? They bought him from Mets for $8.75 million. That's a great deal. That's a bargain. Their other midfielder is Marius Olaru. Solid player. He's actually got pretty good finishing for a central midfielder. He might even play, I don't know if he'll start, but he might play attacking midfield for us. Really good physically. Pretty dang good mentally. Decent technically. Good dribbling and first touch and passing. Everything you need for like an advanced playmaker he's got in terms of technicals. If you look at the rest of our players, we got another midfielder here, Parfait Nyangabo, who's one of our highest potential players, 19 years old. He's decent, but I don't know if he should be around the first team. Maybe in the championship he'd be fine, but in the Premier League, I don't think he's even a backup in the first team. He's not quite there yet. He's got a little bit of growth to go. And on the wings, their starting left winger, I think is, where is he? Where is he? Jorge Perez, I think, is their starting left winger. Right-footed. I think I'm going to play inverted wingers or inside forwards. This guy's definitely an inverted winger with 5 finishing. Pretty good mentals. Decent physicals. 19 agility is really nice. 18 technique is really nice. Not much of a goal scorer, but he can definitely be a creator. They've also got on the right wing Alexander Douglas, who's left-footed, like, of course. He's pretty dang good. Really good mentally. Really good physically. 19 acceleration is beautiful. Technically, he leaves a little bit to the imagination, but he's pretty good inverted winger. I don't know if you can win a Premier League with this guy, but you can come dang close. So he might be a long-term option for us. He's supposedly our second best player. Also got a lone guy who won't be staying with the team unless I want to bring him back. He's pretty good as a backup right winger. Says he can play striker, but he has 9 finishing, so he's not a striker. The other wings, we got Atlas, who's a left winger, left-footed though, so I don't know if I might be selling this guy. 28 years old. I think he's valued at $43 million. I think we need to raise some money, so he might be one of the sales to raise some money. Salisbury's just another youngster that has good potential. Attacking midfielder. He's, again, not good enough to compete in a Premier League squad, but he can play in the championship. Sal Quintero is a backup right winger. He says he's a left winger, but I'm probably going to convert him to a right inverted winger. He's pretty dang good. Really good passing. Really good dribbling and first touch and technique. Really good flair off the ball. Like, his mentals aren't amazing, but he's got them where they need to be. And he's got decent physicals. So could be a role player for us, the Mexican. We also have Carlos Minicioni, who's either-footed, primarily a right-footed guy, so he's probably going to be my backup left. I'm thinking I'm going to play this guy as an inside forward instead of an inverted winger. His finishing is better than his crossing. So he's a little bit more of an inside forward. But I think he'll be the backup. He is valued at 71 million, so he might be sold. 28 years old, valued at 71 million, like one of the highest in the team, and he's not one of the best players at the team. Is he the most valuable player? Second most, behind Joseph Diop. Yeah, he might be sold. If I can get close to that for him, I might sell him. The rest of our team, Petr Mikal, who is the top goal scorer for them last season, and he has 11 finishing. He's a pretty good inside forward or inverted winger, but yeah, he could take the last guy's job as the backup. 25 years old, not valued at 71 million. Valued at 50 still is a lot of money, but I think he's a little bit better. Better combination of crossing and dribbling, or crossing and finishing. Really good mentals, solid all-around mentals, really good physicals. He's pretty good. He'll be a good backup for us. We've got a couple of other players out on loan. Isaac Aggie, he's another left inside forward that is not quite good enough. He's not as good as the last couple guys. Craig McFarland is a guy that's not got a whole lot of potential. Antonio's leaving. This guy's not very good. 32 years old and 2 stars. He's not going to be staying at the club. Another couple of youngsters loaned out. This guy's 29 years old, left back. I don't think we'll need him. We'll probably sell him. And you see a problem. This is our starting striker. Our best striker is a 35-year-old that has 8 pace and 9 acceleration. That's a problem. This team desperately needs a striker. I don't know who they start. I guess they started, what's his name? Petr Mikal at striker last year because he had the most goals. But this guy only made 5 appearances, and he's their best striker. He was really good for Liverpool. Well, he was okay for Liverpool. 69 goals and 256 appearances. But he's not got it anymore. We need a striker desperately. This squad is pretty balanced everywhere, but they really need a striker. So if we go for tactics, I'm going to create my own style, see what they do. I think I'm going to play a 4-2-3-1. I think that fits the team best. If we go back to our squad, try to fit them in. Mesalingis is the goalkeeper. Right back is Veridiano. We desperately need a center back. We've got Rahman, but we need a second center back. So center back and striker are our biggest needs. We need a lot of center backs. Do we have any in the under 18s or under 23s? Not really. We've got Gavin Schuon, who's got a little bit of potential. He's not bad. He could definitely be a championship center back and a backup in the Premier League. Let's promote him to the senior squad. In terms of the under 18s, not much there. So we've got at least one backup center back. I'll put him in the starting rotation for right now. Left back is going to be Michael Anderson. 29 years old. Veridiano's 31. We've got a little bit of problem with age in this team too, which is pretty bad to be old and bad. That's not a good combination. In terms of our midfielders, Diop, I think, is going to start at attacking midfield. Doesn't have very good tackling. So I think I'm going to play him as an attacking midfielder. Doesn't have the best finishing, but he has decent long shots. He actually has really good marking, which is weird to have really good marking but really bad tackling. He's got good work rate too, so really good positioning. So he's got some areas of being a defensive player, but he just can't tackle. But in terms of getting all of our best players in the squad, we need to get 3 of these 4 players in the squad. So he's the only one that can. Well, him and Zigrovic are the only ones that can play attacking midfield. And Zigrovic is a little bit better defensively in terms of his tackling. His positioning and marking aren't as good, but he's also got a little bit better physicals, which I think are probably more important for a midfielder. He's probably like a box-to-box guy. It says his best is Mazzala, but I don't think I'll be using Mazzala. I'll probably use him as a box-to-box midfielder if I start him. I also have the choice of Lesniak and Luan Ferreira, but they're both 29 and 30, so I'll probably start Zigrovic and one of these two. They both played a decent amount of football last year. Neither of them were that good. Lesniak was the better player. He's pretty good. Let's look at the other guy again. Yeah, I'll probably start Lesniak. I think he's the little bit better player. So going to Lesniak and Zigrovic. Right wing as an inside forward is going to be either Saul Quintero. Or no, it's going to be Alexander Douglas. Never mind. Yeah, definitely Alexander Douglas. Attacking midfield is going to be Joseph Diop. Left inside forward is going to be Probably Jorge Perez. And striker, we don't have one. So that's the squad. In terms of what we're going to do tactically, we've got a lot of pace. Alexander, absolutely rapid. Diop's not the fastest, but he's got a decent amount of pace. Jorge Perez is pretty fast. Zigrovic is pretty fast for a midfielder. Lesniak is not. Well, he's got decent for a 30-year-old. Down the fullbacks, not very good for Michael Anderson. We might need a new left back too. And Veridiano's getting old, so we might need a new right back for some potential. Let's do the roles first. Definitely, was he an inside forward or an inverted winger? He's definitely an inverted winger. So you are playing an inverted winger on... Start him on attack. Alexander Douglas is definitely an inverted winger as well. He's definitely playing on attack because I want him getting as far forward as possible. He's actually better at support. He actually doesn't cut inside with the ball, which is weird. He's got cuts in. Well, he has cuts inside from both wings. So why is it saying that's a negative? I don't know. I'm gonna play him on attack. Order is runs the ball down right was why he isn't supposed to be able to cut in. But he has cuts inside from both wings. Likes ball played in the feet, which is pretty good. You know, I mean, doesn't have to be played in his feet because he's so fast, but he does have good dribbling, which is something you want. Diop probably is going to be an advanced playmaker. He doesn't have the best dribbling, but he's so good in passing and vision. He could play as an Enganche because he doesn't have the greatest physicals, and he actually has really good balance. Enganche takes advantage of his balance. Let's look at this. Yeah, his best position is supposedly is Enganche at attacking midfield. Advanced playmaker. He needs agility more, which he doesn't really have. Screw it. I'm playing him as an Enganche. Let's do it. Enganche support. I think that'll work well with inverted wingers, so I'm okay with that. Lesniak's the more defensive player. Might play him center mid on defend. He's not a deep line playmaker. I don't think I want a Carolero. Zigrovic is a box-to-box. So box-to-box and center mid on defend. I'm happy with those in a 4-2-3-1. Veridiano, are you a wingback or a fullback? You're probably more of a fullback with your 10 dribbling. Play on fullback support. Anderson, I think, is also a fullback. Yeah, he can't dribble or cross, so you're definitely a fullback support. Are any of you ball players? He's decent. He's got decent dribbling, decent first touch, but he can't pass. So I don't think I'm going to make him a ball player. Ramon, decent passing, good first touch, decent dribbling. He's actually a pretty decent ball-playing defender. And then Masalongus, are you a sweeper or... Has terrible 1 eccentricity, but 10 acceleration isn't great for a sweeper keeper. I think I'm going to play him as a normal goalkeeper. He's not the best physically. I think I'm going to keep him at goalkeeper. Is that what he's best at? Yeah, that or sweeper keeper, defend, or support. Play him as a normal goalkeeper. In terms of mentality, we should be the best team in the championship, so I'm going to start on attacking. In possession, maybe slightly more direct so we can kind of use our physical ability. Definitely want to play out of the defense. Something I almost always do is play out of the defense and work the ball into the box. I don't know about final third because I don't know who our striker is going to be. If he's tall, I want probably at least mixed, if not floated. If he's short, I want low. So I'm going to keep it a mix for now. I might pass into space. No, we've got good dribblers too. 16 dribbling. 14 dribbling. 12 dribbling. So it kind of depends on our striker. If he's fast, I'll probably definitely pass into space. I want to keep it on for now. I want to run up defense because use our physical ability. And I think I want to stick with slightly more direct. I'm going to go extremely high tempo. We've got pretty good work rate among the team, so that should work pretty well. Almost always counter press and counter. Distribute to the fullbacks. What's his best form of distribution? 12 kicking, 13 throwing. So probably going to throw it long, or I guess I'll just let him choose. In terms of defensive line, I always go with a much higher line of engagement. Defensive line, what kind of pace do these guys have? Solid for Ramon, and I'm probably going to get a new backup or new starting center back. So they've got decent physicals, though. think I'm going to play with a slightly higher line. Use the offside trap. Uh, force opposition outside. Extremely urgent pressing. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution. And get stuck in. I almost always get stuck in. I just really like get stuck in. I don't know why. That's just how my mind works. I want players to be physical as they can be, just completely dominate an opponent. So that's the tactic. Let's take a quick look at what kind of players we could be signing. I don't know what kind of knowledge I have. Definitely want a striker. Definitely want one that's younger than like 28. Let's do that. Search by value. Scroll to the top. Wow, we cannot attract very many good strikers. If our highest value is 39 million, which we don't have that much money, but definitely in the wage budget we don't have much money. But I'm probably going to be selling some players, so I'll be bringing in some funds. 21-year-old Rabicki, who's at Watford. 13 finishing, but his mentals aren't great. Can't pass. Not huge on him. A couple of Englishmen that'll be very expensive, or one Englishman that'll be very expensive. Even though he's in the championship and valued at 39 million. Pretty good player. Sveiger from Man City is a loan listed guy. He has 11 finishing. Gile, 11 finishing. I'm actually going to set some attributes that I want. I want finishing of at least 14, I think. Maybe 13. That's the minimum I'll take. I think I want to go full physical, pace acceleration, and work rate. All those at least 13. See who comes up. Yeah, we're getting recommended championship quality players. That's not great for a team of Everton's quality. Balo, who's asked to leave, he's transfer listed for 21 million. Ooh, his decisions are low. His anticipation and composure aren't great. But really good first touch, pretty good dribbling, really good finishing, decent passing off the ball, really good physically. Only 22 years old. And he's scored a lot of goals at League One level. He's been really good for Monaco, so that might be an option. Let's get a scout report on him. Let's add him to the short list. Christian Holm, an Englishman, probably be pretty expensive if we're going to get this guy. 27 years old. He's pretty dang good, though. Says he's only 2.5 stars, but I think he's a little bit better than that. He's got really good dribbling, finishing, first touch. I guess his passing really lets him down. The rest of his technicals aren't that great. He's got good work rate, though. Really pretty good physicals, solid mentals where he needs them to be. Let's get this guy a scout report, too. I'm not going to add him to the short list just yet. I'm not that high on him. I really like him to look at that Balo guy. Looking for age right here. Boris Soldat at Desna Chernihiv. Could probably get this guy pretty cheap. He's valued at 12.75 million, which is quite a bit for a guy at a club I've never heard of that has an impossible name to pronounce. He's not that good though. He's not good enough. Let's scroll on down here. See some of the younger players. 16 years old, that's probably a little bit too young. Let's actually bump up these ratings just to find a little bit more quality players. 17-year-old, 15 in all those. He's not very good at anything else, though. He's definitely not good enough. Dion, not good enough. Wilson, a Northern Irishman, really good physically. He's missing a lot technically and mentally, though. Ruben Rahimi, not good enough. Livio, who's transfer listed, pretty good mentally. Dribbling lets him down. He doesn't really have a whole lot else technically. Good passer, though. Decent physically. He's okay. I'll get a scout report on him. Gary White, not quite good enough. Yeah, that's all we're getting recommended. This might be a little difficult. This guy's really good physically. Technically, he's not all there. He's pretty decent. Solid mentally, but not exceptional. I don't think he's good enough to be a mid-table Premier League squad. That's kind of what we're looking to get. Someone that can at least be a mid-table Premier League player. Maybe he's got potential, though. I'll scout him. He's at Man City, so he's probably going to be hard to pry from him. He's not English, though, so that helps. And Matt Lewis, he's pretty dang good. I like him. Not good dribbling, though. That kind of lets him down. I prefer to have a good dribbler because I have run a defense on. 39 million, too. I think that's too expensive. Go down to 14s. Scroll towards the bottom. These aren't probably going to be good enough, but it's worth taking a look. See if we can find some real bargains. Luison, not very good. Conta, he's in the Vanarama National League. He's not going to be good enough. Guy in Liga NOS, but not very good. Already looked at him. He's at League 2. Nick Rumpf, not very good. Yeah, I think finding players is going to be a little harder than I thought. But I'm going to go off, try to really find some good strikers and center backs. I'll see you for the next episode where I will come back, show you who I've looking to bring in. I might only have them scouted at that point, but I'll show you who I'm looking to bring in, and we'll get started for first game of the Premier League. We've got a long ways to go because this season just ended. Holy crap, their form towards the end was awful. That is why they got relegated. They probably would have been bottom half if they didn't have that awful stretch. Really relegated them. But I'll see you for the next episode. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. Links to all my socials are also in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.